Forever. Dog.
Lesbians are kind of already married.
Yeah, I already know what it would be like to be married to my girlfriend because, we're doing it already.
I don't know.
Can I just say this? I don't want to say this feels stupid, but this is a thing that people do, and it's like a ceremony that you have.
Yeah.
Why does this have to be dissected so much? I
It's
don't
so
understand.
silly.
And I understand it's like a way for men to own women originally, and that's up, obviously. But now, it's not.
Depending where you are.
I just want to do it. I'm gonna do it. It's a cool
I'm a little
thing.
sim.
It's a cool
living
ceremony.
in my
I want to have a
sim
wedding.
life, and I just want to have a wedding.
Yes, let me be a sim. I can't believe DJ Khaled won't go down on his wife.
Old news.
But can you believe it?
There's no way that's still a thing. Is it? I can't
Is
believe
it worth
that.
a Google? Because I'll Google
I
it.
can't believe that. I remember making a whole video back in the day, back in the YouTube.
No way.
Yeah. I made a whole video about it. Back when YouTube videos. Can we mute Ashley? Can we mute her somehow?
No, I'm first of all, I'm in charge. Second of all, yeah, I'm in fucking charge.
If there's one thing Alayna Joy is gonna do, it's make sure that men are going down on their wives.
Yes, and this was I was how old? This would have been 5 years ago already.
Yeah, it looks like all the articles are 2018.
Yes.
What is this about?
But I'm
What are we talking
looking
about?
for a more recent one.
What are we talking
DJ
about?
Khaled.
Oh yeah, this is
very
old news.
Publicly, proudly, I was enraged about it back when I didn't even. God, the jumping jacks gymnastics I had to do in my brain to remain in a straight relationship is actually wild to me.
I would love to talk about that more.
Well, but you weren't dating this man.
No, but I was. No, I was not.
But were you playing his music in the subwoofer in your car? That's the real question. Did the subwoofer get DJ Khaled?
Is it Khaled or Khalid?
Khaled, I think.
Khaled?
DJ Khaled! That's what he says.
Right? Khaled?
I thought it was Khaled.
I think
Hey,
it's
Google.
Khaled.
Play DJ Khaled.
Khaled. It's
Khaled?
Yeah.
Was Ashley right?
Even Siri said Khaled.
Wow, sounds like no climax.
DJ Khaled.
Whatever, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's beside the point, though, sir. Oh, God.
Beside the point?
Yeah, what besides the point,
I
that
dropped
doesn't
out
make
of
any
college.
sense. It doesn't make
I'm
any
just looking
sense.
for a hot mom to fund my lifestyle. Hot moms, right in.
So, DJ Khaled won't go down on his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And how does this relate to
His wife, Ashley.
His wife. How does this relate to your story, Alayna?
My... So...
Wait, does
Your
this
journey.
relate to your
It
story?
absolutely does. It's hilarious to me because I was fighting so hard. I was up on that hill saying, "How dare he? This is a right. This is a human right for women."
I think
Right.
cunnilingus is a human right.
Yes. And I think I was frustrated by the
Food, water, shelter, cunnilingus.
on the couch with your girlfriend. I was what's the word? The double standard. I was frustrated by this idea that it was a given that women perform on their male partners, whereas
Well, how else are they going to get it up, Alayna? You have been nagging them all fucking day.
Yeah, it's hard.
They don't want to hear you talk anymore.
Fucking
Day.
So put their in your mouth. Shut up.
Okay,
Exactly.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can we
Okay,
get
but
wait,
for
Alayna's
this
not
question.
one thought?
Oh no,
Alayna's,
go ahead.
Alayna's okay, finish it up. Come on.
Nag.
Oh my god. You guys are triggering my fight or flight right now.
Just fucking get it over
Oh
with.
my
Alayna.
God.
My God.
So I was frustrated by the disparity in expectation, right? And so that was my whole thing in this video when I heard about DJ Khaled, as I'm sure many people were. I was not unique in this way. at the same time, in my private life, I was like, well, I don't like or want that.
Yeah.
So, like, this was not something that I was participating in personally.
Oh.
But yet, I somehow knew in my mind that this was, like, a great thing that women wanted, but yet was like, but not me, though.
Yeah.
That's selfless of you, honestly. You're out here fighting. You're fucking fighting, Alayna. For us.
Yeah.
For us to get head.
Yep.
Do you even, okay, I'm gonna have a loaded question for you.
Yeah.
Do you even feel that you were sexually active before you were with women, or do you feel like you were doing sex but you weren't active?
Oh, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
That's why I think virginity is a spectrum.
Oh my god, and it's a construct, and it's honestly garbage. I was that's a lot to unpack, Ashley.
My bad.
No.
When Alayna sighs mid-sentence, I know that that's like a heavy topic for her.
No, because it's actually something like that we touch on when we record these episodes. I'm pretty much always coming right out of therapy because this is like right when I have my therapy sessions.
And you just had therapy
I just had therapy.
moments ago.
Yes, and
In
so
this
like
new shirt.
yes, I wore my egg shirt for no, but it's something that I'm trying to understand is like the amount of doing rather than like wanting. I'm trying to understand the amount of doing with lack of want.
Is
that
Boogs
makes sense.
okay?
She's just wants attention.
Boobs? Boobs are great.
Bugs. She's just hi, sweetheart. Oh,
Yeah.
That's enough then. She runs
Okay.
from no, she just wants to be loved, don't we all?
Welcome to the Chosen Family Podcast.
Hi, everybody. Ay, ay, ay. This is the show where we sit down around the family dinner table every week, and then usually at the end, we like tell you what we had for dinner.
Oh, we
Last
forgot
week,
to
we
do that.
Forgot.
We forgot last week.
Last
Yeah.
week we forgot. Oops. But we sit down around the family dinner table. We talk about queer stuff. We're your chosen family, the gay family that you never had, that you don't have. You didn't have it until you met us, and now here we are. Thank God.
I am your dad.
I'm your hot teenage brother.
Baby.
That's
Mac
baby.
is
That's Mac.
baby. And I'm Alayna, and I'm your mother.
We're going to answer some of your questions today.
Yeah.
Alayna, why are you getting pissed that Ashley's chewing into the mic? And you
not
always
chewing.
get pissed
She's
at
not
me.
chewing into the mic. She's pulling the mic away from her mouth when she chews. You get your, and I'm quoting here, suck time directly in front of the mic.
What cunnilinguses are right?
Thank you. Thank you,
No,
Papa.
I do think that there's an interesting conversation to be had here, and I try and have it. Hi, Bugs. I know, sweetheart. I know. Here, come sit on my lap. It's hard because my relationship was public, right? And so I don't want people to know. People think that they know who I'm talking about when I talk about my own experience, when it's like, really, they don't.
You've
Like,
dated other people.
Exactly. I dated other people, like, but I just don't want people to think I'm talking about my one specific relationship when I'm not. But just
Alayna,
like,
I just said it.
People are going to think what they're going to think.
well,
I
and
read
that
a
does
comment-
not
You
matter
also
to me.
just said. You
Yeah.
literally
Yes.
just said that
And
they
they're
have
going
no
to
idea who you're talking about.
ignore you.
Yeah.
Someone recently posted on my channel, I love Mac, but Mac seems so unhappy when collaborating with these two about our video. And I was like,
What?
what? I don't care
That makes
what.
me so sad.
I know, because first of all, I don't think people realize how mean a comment like that is, because first of all, it implies that Mac is
so
not good at
mean.
her job. Because the whole thing is like, if she's faking a friendship with us, she's not doing a very good job. Like, the whole point is
It'll
like,
be a long time now for us to be faking it.
right, exactly. And also, excuse me, I burped. It's mean on a personal level because Mac is a person with agency who can make decisions for herself about who she wants to work with.
Yes.
So, like, whoever Alayna is talking about, just be a human. Assume that she has 23 other hours in the day besides this fucking podcast. And, dude, she is sucking dick, dude. Like, she is getting around, girly. She is getting around, girly, dude. You don't even fucking know what
Dude,
Alayna is
my
getting
guy.
up to. My man, Alayna is out there getting pounded, just dick down.
How does it keep happening that I am like the least sexually explicit of the three of us on this podcast, and
That
yet
makes you a
somehow-
target for Ashley.
Yes, somehow
That
this
makes you
becomes-
the target.
The visuals that we're putting to the audience are all me.
Fine. Here we go.
You are the face of the pod,
I'm
Alayna.
the face
to be you.
of like oral across the board.
You're the
according to
wait.
Ashley.
You're not the face of oral?
You are the face of oral. You
I don't
made
wanna
the
be the
video
czar of oral,
defending
guys.
DJ Khaled's wife.
The czar of oral.
Czar of oral.
No, the reason that I do still want to talk about it is like helping other people, or maybe shedding some light or something on the experience of understanding the difference between doing things because you're like, okay, this is fine. The other person wants this thing, so that's fine.
Right.
Versus actually wanting something yourself.
Yeah.
And so when you're asking me, do you feel like I was sexually active, or do I feel like I was just performing actions versus like having a sex life or like experiencing sexuality? Yeah. Like I don't feel like I was experiencing actual sexuality until I like came out, started having these experiences with queer people in this new way. Even, and now here's the kicker. Okay, now this is like, here's the really confusing part. Because after coming out was not the first time that I had experiences with queer people. It was not the first time that I had queer relationships. I had, you know, explored, dabbled, I don't know what you want to call it. I had experiences, multiple, like not just like once or twice. I was in it. I was doing the
Girly.
Girly zarring.
And yet, in those experiences, I was still 99% just doing actions. I wasn't there.
Before you were out.
Before I was out. Because there was this block. Like I had this wall up, and as soon as feelings or like an actual present moment experience started to appear, I just like shut it down.
Yeah.
And I'm out of there.
That's crazy.
Because I couldn't look at it. So it's like, that's the part that's not helpful for the listener at home, probably, because everyone's like, oh, well, how do I know if I'm gay if I've never had an experience with a woman, right? And I'm like,
turns out having an experience with a woman might not even help.
Exactly. Like it's,
wow.
So I don't know the answer. All I know is that it has been so much more complicated than I ever would have expected to like unpack and unwind.
Wow.
It is
then and
so
now.
complicated, isn't it?
Bring more flavor to your table this spring with the #1 meal kit for eating well.
Green Chef has wholesome, elevated recipes featuring seasonal organic produce and unique farm fresh ingredients. As you guys may know, I'm in a relationship. So sometimes you want to spice things up and cook at home, make a nice romantic dinner. That's why I love Green Chef, because it's so easy for me.
And
Jen's sitting down. I'm cooking, okay? The kid's the chef. Everything's planned out for you. It's so delicious, and I look like a hero because I've made the most delicious meal on the planet in just a few minutes.
welcome the spring season with delicious, easy-to-follow recipes that support your healthy lifestyle and taste good, too.
Try balanced, crave-worthy meals fit for vegetarian, vegan, keto, protein-packed, Mediterranean, fast and fit, or gluten-free dietary preferences.
And you can eat well at lunchtime, too, with Green Chef's 10-minute lunches.
Each week's menu includes 2 convenient, low-prep, and nutritious lunch recipes, ready in just 10 minutes, no cooking required.
Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh, and with a wider array of meal plans to choose from, there's something for everyone.
Go to greenchef.com/chosenfamily60 and use code chosenfamily60 to get 60% off plus free shipping.
That's greenchef.com/chosenfamily60. Use code chosenfamily60 to get 60% off plus free shipping.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I feel lucky because I've had a pretty straightforward gay life.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it can be, I think. But I dated a woman I mean, like, and I loved this woman so much, but we were in a closeted relationship. And I used to, this is actually going back to the last episode, this is something I pushed back on my therapist about. Because my therapist, a lot of people are like, I want a queer therapist. And that's fine. Like, if that's what you want, I don't super think it matters as long as the person's empathetic. I mean, maybe what you're going through is so specific and you're looking for something solutions-based. But in my experience, this was the one time where I was like, a gay person would get this. But it didn't matter because I had the type of relationship where I could push back on him. But I dated this woman, and we had like a really mostly sexless relationship, even though it was like really a very deep love. And we were really so similar. And she was in the closet, and no one knew, and no one was allowed to know. And I just couldn't understand, and I couldn't wrap my brain around, and it caused me a lot of pain. How she knew she wanted to be with me, knowing that she was initially attracted to me, but didn't really want to have sex with me. And I would try to have these conversations with her, being like, is it that you're more attracted to men? And while you are attracted to me, I'm not really fulfilling your full sexual being. Like, I didn't want to put it in terms that weren't correct, but like, it was really, really hard. And I always just felt in my gut, and I don't want to speak for another person, but I just felt in my gut, if she could be out and be her full self, that this was really more related to shame than it was to her sexuality. Because I don't think you can get as far as being in love with someone and moving in with them and knowing that at some points you were attracted to them in this very real way without there something being under that, like something bigger under that. You know what I'm saying?
And then you're trying to have those conversations with somebody, and if they're in that kind of shut down, numb, shame, partitioned life place, like, that's where I'm coming from. Oh, look, we got both kitties.
I know.
Hello.
Little black cats.
I'm coming from the other side
Little
of
lumps
it,
of coal. Little lumps of coal.
Where I think, like, you're right that, like, and that person just might not be ready to look at it, because it's too much, it's too big, it's too.
And the act of sex is like, feels like the gayest shit you can do.
Right, but like I'm saying, like, the act was fine, but I was doing the same performance that I had been doing my whole life. That didn't magically disappear because now I was sleeping with a woman. That's what I understood sex was.
Alayna, I feel like I've had sex with you because when I was having sex with...
Because we have. We haven't, listener.
Because when I was having sex with this woman, I just could feel that she wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was... It was brutal. I was like deeply in love with her. Deeply.
See, and this is like, so a few episodes ago where we were talking about reaching out to exes, like, this is the ex that I'm thinking of when we were in that episode, is like, it wasn't, not in a sex way, the issue wasn't there, but like in an emotional way, I could feel that she would try to connect with me in a way that I was just like, absolutely not, and would not, I would not go there with her. And I recognize now how deeply I was hurting her by like not, like, it was the same kind of thing. She would try and have these conversations with me, and I was just like, I just wouldn't, I would do every trick under the sun to like make it about something else.
Yeah.
So what changed? Like, how did you make that major shift?
Well, for me, it was the pandemic, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to be planning a wedding, and my queer life is gone because of quarantine, and it's just me and my in my straight passing relationship, making these big life decisions and all of the pressure just kind of made it all explode. I couldn't ignore it anymore. But now, in whatever it is, like 3 years later, I'm starting to unpack the 10 years before that, you know, and a part of that is looking at these experiences that I had with queer people, these other relationships that I had, and realizing, oh shit, like I was your ex, Ashley, you know?
I tell you what, now that I'm hearing this, it might be helpful for you to reach out to if my ex reached out, you know, because I saw her, we had the same hairstylist. So one day I went in for my haircut, and then she came in for her haircut, and we were sat right next to each other.
Sounds like an episode of The O Word.
I know.
Wait, you and your ex?
Yeah, me and my ex.
That is bizarre.
When was this? Sorry?
A while, like a year ago.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. And then
I wanted more than anything to remain friends with this woman. And when I saw her, I am not friends with her, and I'm no longer trying to be friends with her. Can't make anybody be friends with you. I saw her, and when we spoke, which I'm not sure she really wanted to do, I asked her, I was like, have you seen any women since we were together? And she goes, yeah, like casually. And I just like, when I think about her saying that to me, like her just like, our relationship was a secret that I carried around. I didn't express anything to I had to lie to my friends. Like, it was heavy for me. Obviously come out in your own time, but do the math equation of whether or not you should be in a relationship during that process. Because if that's for a couple weeks, okay, you're carrying a heavy secret for a couple weeks. For a couple years, that's like a long time. And
That's
also,
insane.
it's on me to get out of the relationship. Like, I made some mistakes. But for her to casually just be like, yeah, I've like, I didn't pry, but I was just like, bro, like if I had even told my best friend that we were dating, I would be in trouble. Like we would have had a blowout fight. Like that was sacred to you. So it was really, I don't know what person you're talking about, Alayna. And obviously I'm projecting my own feelings onto it. But like, if I had gotten like an email being like, hey, you know, I'm not trying to start up a conversation here. I'm not trying to rekindle a friendship. That being said, here is some closure for you. Like, I don't know. I would have appreciated that from her. But this is like, I don't think that you did what she did. I think we're on two different levels.
Like, we've had conversations, like, we still like wish each other happy birthday. Like, it's not like,
oh, okay,
it's some untouchable, like, we don't speak. I don't think there isn't bad blood anymore. Like, it was rough when it ended. The ending was rough. But over the next, I don't know, year or so, we did have closure conversations. So it's not like it's this, I don't think it's this open wound. I do have a lot more insight now into my own behavior than I did then. So that's where I'm like, I don't know that it's worth the risk of like opening up an old wound.
Probably not.
But I just think about, I was unfair in the way that I like wouldn't. And
you know how I feel, and this people might not agree with me. I think when someone is in the closet, whatever stage of closet they're in, I, as a gay person, this is very Catholic, absolved of all sin. If you did something in the closet, like I'm speaking for myself, for other people, you're in hell. You are at war. You are in prison. You are not a logical, rational being. Whatever happened, that's the way I look at my relationship with this woman. Whatever happened in there, I forgive you because you were in hell. And I have so much empathy for what you were going through. A lot of people probably don't agree with me with that. But there are so many things that I've observed that people are like, that was terrible. I'm like, yeah, they were literally suffering from a form of mental illness. That's insanity. You plead insanity when you're in the closet. That's what I think.
No, and it's true, like, because it was all a big secret. Like, everything, like, no, my God, I can't even,
I'm sorry if I pushed too hard.
You didn't, not at all.
So many people are in the closet.
It I don't know that I have anything else helpful to say.
My bad. Alayna, let's talk about our relationship.
You didn't do anything wrong.
The thing is that it just didn't feel like you were there.
Alayna would never.
This is something I said to my therapist today, is like, I feel like.
Last week?
No, today.
Today, okay.
Yeah. I said to my therapist today, like, I feel like I was numb for, like, until I was like 27. I was dull, numb. Like, I didn't have feelings or something. I don't know. Like, and now it's like, it's all exploding, and I'm trying to, like, handle having all of these feelings while also processing the 10 years of feelings that I refused to look at.
Yeah, wow. For me, it's like grief.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because I'm like, I lost a person because of the closet, like a friend. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Anyway, we're going to answer some of your...
Your hair looks really good, Ashley. Did you get a haircut?
No,
Oh, it looks really nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Should we take a question?
Disappointed to tell you she didn't get a haircut.
I feel like I'm getting anxiety that I made this episode too heavy.
You didn't. You literally didn't. I'm getting anxiety that I talked about things that are very personal.
I thought I thought it was beautiful and vulnerable, Alayna.
Okay.
Mac, make us feel better, please. Mommy and Daddy are spiraling.
I think that your advice will be very helpful to people that are in the closet, or maybe dating somebody that's in the closet.
Yeah, but it's like, was it advice, or am I just trying to...
I really do. No, but sharing your experience is valuable.
Yeah.
I really do. There are a lot of people that are in the situations that you guys just talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot.
Get out. Get out of them.
Like, kind of in the closet and in a long-term relationship with a man that's, like, also kind of open and also dating.
Yes, Alayna, probably, honestly.
And
probably.
also having all these feelings and then just, like, pretending you don't have them.
You're not special, okay? No, but seriously, I think there are probably a lot of people that... I don't have any experience. Well, I mean, I do, but not in the same way that you guys are talking about. So I don't feel like I can really relate to that. But there are a lot of people that can. There are levels.
Well, Mac, tell us something that you thought of while we were saying all of that. Like, from your own experience or anything you related to.
Well, I guess I was thinking about, like, where is a responsible place to draw that line of, like, somebody that you're with is in the closet, but, like, how in the closet are they, and what's the cutoff of, like, this person can be in a functional relationship versus this person should be single, whether it's by their hand or by, like, the hand of their partner taking the responsibility to be like, I don't think you're ready for this, or I'm not ready for this.
I think what me and Ashley are talking about when we're in these specific situations and when we're talking about being in the closet, I'm talking about it personally from the perspective of, like, I'm in the closet to myself. Like, I don't understand myself. I think that's what we're talking about, more so than, oh, there's some external situation where this person can't be publicly out. But I think it's a very different thing than, like, not being out to yourself, like lying to yourself.
I think as soon as you start to put your the partner who is not in the closet, as soon as that partner feels any kind of emotional restriction I think that's like kind of where that's where I would draw the line if I weren't.
Yeah.
If I am not allowed to talk to certain, now I'm not talking about posts on Instagram, and I'm not talking about running my mouth to strangers, but if I am not allowed to talk about the fact that I'm in a relationship to a few friends and family, at least, that's an emotional restriction. If we're not allowed to be seen together in public, emotional restriction. Like, that's where I think, like, if you've come out of the closet, you've done some work, and you never have to be back there again, period. Like, you don't. So I get that maybe you are young, because I think this is mostly applicable to young people. And I think that's different than when you're older. So, like, yeah, someone maybe needs to come out of the closet to their friends, their sister, their family, whatever. But, like, if someone's making you feel shame, not because they're shaming you, but you feel shame because of the situation, the moment you feel shame, I think that's your line right there.
Right. And is there a timeline, or is there a light at the end of the tunnel where it's like, okay, this is temporary. This in the closet is temporary. And if it isn't, is that something that you can be okay with? Is that something
This is
that
great
you can
life
live
advice
a full life
for
with?
any relationship?
Yeah.
Long distance, bad work-life balance, children.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to resolve this incompatibility? If you're not talking about it,
there it is.
and
There
you
it is.
haven't,
Yep.
and you haven't put a deadline on it,
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
If you're not talking about it, there's no deadline, cut it off. Done.
Unless it's not an incompatibility that needs to be resolved, unless it's something that you feel peaceful with in perpetuity.
Right.
Is,
well, then there's no
unlikely.
deadline needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I know
Those are the
married
questions.
couples who live long distance from each other, but like they're married, they committed to the bit. It's very rare.
Well,
But
and it worked. No, I know. I have a couple that I know like that. They
you
basically live
kidding me?
separately. That's how they're happy that way. So that's fine.
That would be out for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's wild. Wow. They're gonna do that indefinitely.
Well, it's like a work thing where like they live different places for different jobs, and they're just like happy doing their own life in separate places.
That is mind-boggling.
But vacationing together,
Yeah.
talking, they might be super independent people. That being said, I think those people are kind of in the minority.
See, and that's exactly where it's like we can't just say what's the hard and fast line for someone being in the closet or not in the closet. There is no hard and fast line. It's a question for you
It's a
of what,
spectrum.
and like what brings you peace versus what creates distress, and the things that create distress, is there a timeline for them to be resolved?
100%. And also, while there are exceptions to every rule, like we're talking about this long distance couple, are you really the exception? Go inward. Are you really? Because that's when denial and shame and all kinds of stuff starts to come up. Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Mac, thoughts? What are you hearing here?
I have no idea, you guys. You guys have way more experience with me than this kind of stuff.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
No,
I
I'm
was
just
thinking
like,
about the coming out and hiding it and blah blah blah.
I'm going through it. I'm kind of going through it right now, not with Jen, but with myself about my work-life balance. I'm like, this is not working.
Yep.
Oh,
So are you going to remain in denial about this?
Yeah. This is not working. It's all working.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And do I have a timeline? Kind of. I have a timeline that I would like. I would like my special. My timeline is based on my special going viral. So please, for the love of fucking God, April 24th, watch live, 7 p.m. But what happens if I don't get my dreams come true and it doesn't go viral? I stay on this hamster wheel till my next one goes viral? No, I cannot do that. So something's got to give,
And you have to make it. Like, that's the thing. You have to make the change.
Oh, April 23rd. Fuck.
I was about to say
April 20th.
I don't think that's the right
Danny.
day.
April 23rd, 7 p.m. Watch it.
Eastern.
Yes.
7 p.m. Eastern.
Watch party at 6 p.m. These two are going to be doing it. I hope you guys
yeah.
have
it's
it marked in your
calendar.
calendar. Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am. Would you guys want to take a shorty question or?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. We can always take a question. We can also talk about the links, the linky names.
Yeah, you didn't talk about my link names.
BANANAS.
This link is bananas.
And then we got pink ladies. What does that mean, Ashley?
From Greece.
From Greece. Okay, here.
Oh, okay. I love Greece.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you chewing a little bit, Ashley. I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
Ashley, you're chewing. It's a
You're
little loud.
chewing.
Can you not chew into the microphone?
Thank
Get your
you.
chew time elsewhere, maybe.
What are your 3 favorite musicals? 4.
Mamma Mia, Hairspray.
Mamma Mia.
What?
Don't you dare.
You're
Don't
such
you
a
dare.
Gen
You be very
Z.
careful with what you're about to say
An
next.
ABBA jukebox musical.
I mean, it's good. No, it's
good.
good. But when you
Favorite
have
musical?
Moulin Rouge,
Into the Woods.
Chicago.
Yeah, like what about the classics?
Come on.
I've never seen those.
I actually really like Across the Universe.
Interesting.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that is. I'd love to have a
It's a
musical
Beatles
night
one.
with you
It's a
guys.
Beatles one.
I would love to do that. How
You
about
guys
a
were all
night where
theater kids, weren't
we
you?
watch my special? Wait.
We're already doing that. April 23rd at 7 p.m.
I did want to shout out our bisexual listeners for
Yeah.
the in the closet conversation, because when you were talking about you being in the pandemic and like having to reckon with yourself, I imagine that process for someone who's pansexual, queer, bisexual, that process, and I would say on the gender spectrum too, perhaps for our non-binary listeners, that process is a lot more gray.
Yes.
And-
yes.
Probably really hard to get to the root if you're bisexual. Like,
And that's
Yeah,
like,
wow.
that just goes back to the beginning when we're saying like, oh shit, it's all so complicated. Like when people are writing in saying, how do I know? It's like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know how you know. It took me 27 years and I'm not bi, you know? I thought I was. So that added to the complication because I was wrong. So maybe that we return to the idea and the reassurance that it's
bisexuality
okay.
is not real. Wait, what?
I was gonna say that it's okay if
Joe!
it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to think one thing today and a different thing tomorrow.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be bisexual.
Maybe.
Can you imagine?
I can't actually.
No, I can't either.
Literally can't.
Stop
we
it.
would support you if
Stop
you were.
it. Stop. Stop flirting with me.
Girly, you gotta do what you need to do.
Oh, this is, by the way, we're taking questions from our Patreon only Discord. Chosen Family. No, I always want to say chosenfamily.com. That's not it. Patreon.com/Chosen Family Podcast. We have bonus episodes over there. We have ad-free episodes, and we have a private Discord server where we take your questions from. So if you want your questions answered, head over there. Where is the difference in dating / engagement / marriage besides the documentation and ring? What is the difference in emotional chemistry between two people in these different standpoints? I'm
That's wild.
I'm posing it because I'm curious also, but I'm also recognizing that like all of us are just dating. None of us are engaged or married.
do you guys ever hear that stuff about like couples that will say, well, as soon as we got married, everything changed or like everything got worse? You know what I'm talking about?
Terrifying. Yes, I've heard
Like
that.
how? Can you imagine being like, this is my wife? Like, you're telling me that makes it worse? There's no way.
Because I think it's like some people see it as like, oh, well, now I've locked it down. I don't have to try anymore. When it's like, oh, that's not how relationships are. Like,
No.
I want my partner, my future wife, like, I want her every day to be the best day she's ever had. Like, that's my life goal, is to like make her
don't
feel
you
loved
think
and
that those
special.
kind of
and-
people that would say like, oh, well, I've already got him, so now I don't need to try anymore. I feel like that would come out
I'm
before
like,
marriage,
please
don't
tell
you?
me there's got to be red flags for that.
I think this might be honestly, I think this might be a thing rooted in sort of straight culture, because I feel like there are so many games
people L.
and goals and like the way that they navigate relationships with gender roles that just make this feel like there's more surprises, you know,
Yeah.
going into a marriage. Whereas lesbians are moving in together immediately. So it's like lesbians are kind of already married.
Yeah, like I'm like I already know what it would be like to be married to my girlfriend because like we're doing it already.
I think there are certain things like that are actually real, like the Jen and I were talking. Jen and I are gonna get married. We're not engaged, but we're gonna get married, and we were talking about finances last night, and we were like, for terrible situations, should you have one bank account? For a horrible emergency kind of thing. Dealing with what happens if we did break up or, like stuff like that. That's real. That's like a real conversation to have.
Yeah.
That it makes it really quite different from a relationship. But
well, and that's not dependent on marriage. And I
No,
think
it's
that's
not.
another
It's not.
thing. Like in queer relationships, that's different. Like me and my girlfriend, we have those conversations also. And it's like, whereas I think for a lot of, I mean, we're guessing here, but I feel
straight
like
people
in
have always
straight
been able to get
relationships,
married.
yeah, and it's more like, oh, we're gonna get married. Now we have those conversations.
The marriage thing is, or maybe they don't, but the marriage thing does kind of force it because if you are married to someone, you get their money. Like that's what happens when one of them passes. Like that's legally, even if you haven't planned for it, that's what's happening. And if you get divorced, if you don't have a prenup, you're splitting it down the middle. Like that's kind of how it goes.
Now I'm thinking about these conversations that me and my girlfriend have. Like we're talking about all these serious conversations that you have with your partner, and like, oh, how do you know the difference between marriage and whatever? And there's another part of me that's like, one of the reasons I know that this person is the person for me is not because we have all these serious conversations about feelings in the future, which we do, but because the day to day, I don't stop laughing. Like this woman cracks me up. Cracks me up. It's not just the serious conversations that tell you, oh, this is someone that I would want to marry, but it's that like day to day just.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think for me, why is marriage important to me?
It's important to me because I came from somewhere that's so impressed upon us that we had to, like, that marriage. I came from a religious upbringing. I come from a town that's like very focused on marriage and all of that. In my previous relationship, there was a lot of pressure from family to get married. When are you getting married? When are you getting married? All this stuff. That now it's like marriage is important to me because it feels like a reclamation. Like it feels like I'm taking back this, I'm making this thing my own.
I think for me, there's two pieces of it. I want to like share that celebration with the world, however big my party is. And you can have a party without the legal document. You know what I'm saying? But I think because of my background and what I've been through, security is really important to me. And I want to feel like, like we did the paperwork and this is protected, I don't know.
Can I just say this? I don't want to say this feels fucking stupid, but like this is a thing that people do, and it's like a ceremony that you have.
Yeah.
Like, why does this have to be dissected so much?
And
I
it's
don't
so
understand.
silly. It's such a
cross-cultural.
silly little, we get dressed up in our silly little
And
outfits.
I understand it's like a way for men to own women originally, and that's fucked up, obviously. But like now, it's not.
Well,
And it's
depending
like,
where
this
you
is
are.
A thing that we do. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Well, I will say
Depending where we are.
it's also, and marriages are different culture to culture, but like in every culture, I'm sure there's some version of like making commitments that like really matter to you in front of a group of people. It just feels like something like we kind of want to do. Yeah.
It's like, why do you celebrate anything, whatever you celebrate? Like any kind of holiday, any kind of like little ceremony that you have with yourself or your family or your partner. It's because we enjoy it. It's something that we do. If you want to do it, fucking do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it.
Yeah. I think you're right, Mac. I think you're right.
I just think like people, because Mattia brings this up to me all the time, and I'm like, I'll say something like, I'll be like, oh, well, it feels nice to have that security. And she's like, well, you can have that without marriage. And then I finally just get to the point where I'm like, I just fucking want to do it. I'm going to do it. It's a cool thing.
I'm a little sim.
It's a cool
living
ceremony.
in my
I want to have a
sim
wedding.
Life, and
I'm
I just
gonna
want
do
to have
it.
a wedding.
Yes, let me be a sim.
Yes, this is what I want my character to do today.
Oh, I thought you said simp, and I was like, okay,
no.
Alayna roasting Mac. Yeah, you little simp bitch. You want to get married? You fucking simp. You fucking simp.
With her I Love Hot Moms t-shirt.
These were episodes. If you want more of them, go to patreon.com/chosen family podcast for bonus episodes every month and ad-free episodes.
Yeah. What did we have for dinner today?
Ooh.
Wedding cake.
Wedding cake.
Oh my God, yeah. We had wedding cake. I love that. And we fed it to each other.
Oh.
I think we fed it to each other and Ashley put some on our
faces. We stood in
faces.
a circle.
Yeah.
And we each fed it to the next person.
Yeah.
And now we're polyamorous with our
Ashley, are you going to
son.
wear like a baller suit to your wedding?
Ooh, suit or dress?
I was thinking about this the other night before I
okay.
fell asleep.
Alayna, was that a sincere question?
It was,
You think I'm
yeah.
going to wear a dress to my wedding?
Hey, sometimes you see these women who like present more masculine, are more comfortable in a masculine, whatever, and then at their wedding they wear these like beautiful dresses, and you're just like, oh my God.
Anytime, I'm about to sound so homophobic. Anytime I see that, I'm like, you're giving into the patriarchy. Go put your suit on. Go put your fucking suit on.
Ashley obviously wants you to wear whatever you would like
No,
to
you
wear.
wear whatever you want to your wedding. You
No.
look beautiful.
No, because Alayna, the other night I was thinking about Ashley and I was like, damn, is she gonna wear a suit or a dress? And then I laughed at myself.
Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck would I think that? Ashley's gonna wear a suit.
Goodbye, everybody. I'm
Love
not
you
wearing
for
a dress.
listening.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening.
Chosen Family is a Forever Dog production, hosted by Ashley Gavin, Alayna Joy, and Mac INGEMI. Edited by Danny Jewell, executive produced by Mariah Nicholas. Forever Dog Productions is Joe Cilio, Alex Ramsey, and Brett Boehm.
Forever.